Zaid, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you doing on your own side?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Been a bit busy. So yeah.
How it went for you today?
Yeah, been a bit swamped. I've been at the gym, just got back. So yeah.
Got it. All right, Akif, you showed interest right here to scale up your own fund. I mean, do you have a fund right now? Do you have a SMA?
I have a fund, but it's backed by Falcon Investment Management. So they effectively own the fund, but the track record and everything is all mine.
Mm-hmm. And the track record that you have already built for how long?
I've been trading for 7 years. It took me 4 years to try and get this sort of sorted. And so the fund officially started in January. So this year, January. But yeah, it's been a tough little thing to try and get sorted.
Okay, so you have started your own fund this year.
Yeah.
All right. How old are you, by the way?
27.
27. Are you 98?
Sorry?
98?
Yeah, 98.
All right, understood. So right now you are measuring 2 million, correct?
Yeah.
Understood. And what do you have for structure today? Are you charging 220 or are you charging like 0.20?
220. That's what I'm charging. Well, to be honest, it's 1.5 20. But with Falcon, the investment manager, the structure is slightly different. But from clients from my side, it's 1.5 20.
Understood. And what the vision right here? I mean, where are you looking to take the fund to?
What I really want, these are my targets. It's 2 million now. I really want 5 million by the end of this year. Hopefully, I think I can get there. And then I want 10, 25, and I think I'll max around 30, 50 to 30 to 50 million, but it depends how it goes. I think 25 is over the next year is doable. Of course, one thing you mentioned, and I know this because I've just been in the industry, track record is important. So that's what I've been trying to focus on for this first year, that I really want to nail this track record. Because I'm from a prop trading, so we can't transfer our track records. So I've had to rebuild track records and stuff like that.
Got it. As you have already mentioned before, so you have been a trader for 7 years, correct?
Yeah.
Understood. Have you been profitable for the last 4?
Last 6 years, actually.
Okay. Then why haven't you started a fund before?
So I was in prop. I was bouncing around different prop firms. I stuck with one prop for a really long time, and that took the bulk of my time. And I was thinking, should I start my own fund? I didn't know how to go about it when I was there. It was like I didn't have the contacts. I didn't know the structure of how to set one up. And then at that time, I was still quite young. I was 24, and I thought I got another role in institutional research. And that way, what I thought, I'll do that and I'll do my own trading, because one thing that someone told me was you need to build your own track record, because the firms won't let you transfer the track records.
Who told you that?
It was an old mentor. He used to work at a few banks, and one thing he mentioned was that
he had his own fund.
No, not anymore. He's retired.
Then don't take any advice from him.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I understand that. But yeah, one thing, the prop trading is so different. It's ultra high risk, right? It's looking at very small scale stuff. So my approach was slightly different. I liked holding slightly longer term, trades for 1-2 months max. So I went and rebuilt a strategy and did that. And then I did start a fund. Like I started and reached out to investors. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. Even though like last year I made 35%, I struggled with those investors to keep them on board. They won't. It could be me. It could be me not being able to push it. That's a chance. But I felt like my investors were just not there in terms of wanting to invest more. And I was near the middle of last year. I was thinking, this is, I need to stop. This is a bit of a dream, and it's not realistic anymore. So I need to start, looking at making a CV again and getting back into the industry. And then all of a sudden, I came across Falcon, Falcon read my CV, looked at my track records, did their due diligence. We came up with an agreement, and they were happy to launch the fund using their infrastructure, and they were happy to also back me as well with some investment. I brought my own skin as well. One thing I've always done is I've always invested my own money. So I've brought my own skin, I brought my own capital, and then they backed me with additional
How much have
capital.
you already invested into the fund?
So I put in 250 so far, and I think that at the time that's all I was able to do as well.
Understood. And right now, how many clients do you have?
At the moment, it's just Falcon.
Only.
Yeah.
Before you had the clients, as you have already mentioned last year, and it was a
Yeah.
struggle to keep the clients on, correct?
Yeah.
What the performance that you have already generated, I mean, lately?
So over the last 4 years, it's I'd have to read my CV properly. It's been averaging around 25 to 30%, and that's for the drawdown of maximum 5%.
25 to 30% yearly.
Yeah, and that's for the max drawdown of 5%.
Okay. 5%. And for this year, was it the same for this year too?
This year, yeah, max drawdown, it was 4.8%. I'm currently down 1%, and it's just this start of the year has been so tough for me.
I remember when we had the chat, maybe, right?
Yeah, it's just been, yeah.
Understood.
Last year, I felt like last year, maybe equity trends weren't great, but the bond market really gave me good trades. Now the bond market is doing the same as the equity market, and it's all over the shop basically, and that creates
it.
FX problems as well. I've done FX for 7 years, so I thought I knew my stuff, but I clearly don't.
I mean, that's for the most, they're going into the same cycle when the market actually shock you with something new. So you will absolutely be shocked. I mean, there is nothing new in
But
that.
I'm happy that I've experienced this now rather than later, because you want to learn really early, right? You want to be able to get that exposure, even if you don't make money out of it, as long as you've got the exposure and be able to manage the risk.
I mean, only you have already went through this time, this pressure, that will absolutely be valuable for the long term. Not everyone can actually go through it and stay in the game, correct?
That's true.
What do you think that you have learned from managing a fund, or what do you think that you can do right here to scale up your own fund?
Well, I think what I've learned from the last 6 months is the greater importance of managing risk. Scaling positions has been better, drip feeding the position when it's more appropriate. So I write a lot more notes now, why I'm getting into a trade or why I'm getting into an idea. What's the theory behind it, or why am I doing it? And then that way, I'm managing that position effectively more. So let's just say, for example, I'm going long treasuries here. What's the theory behind it? Why am I going long treasuries? And am I just maxing out the unit of risk all of a sudden, or am I drip feeding that position? And then if it's being drip fed, at what point am I adding to that position? How am I scaling? How aggressively am I scaling? I think that's been much better over this year and last year. Understanding my limits to how leveraged I want to be in a trade. I think that's been significantly better, and something that we didn't really do back when I was trading prop.
Understood. What do you think that you need to do right here to scale up? Is it like you need only to keep building your own track record, or do you think that you need actually to have other tools right here to help you?
Track record is one thing, but building, like you mentioned, identity, a brand, getting out there. There's so many funds, right? How do you get out there? That's what I don't really know. I don't know any of the marketing. I don't know how to actually build an identity. That's not just for trading or fund. That's just me in general. That's not like my strong point. It's probably why I never got into sales. But that's what I think is important, because look, when a fund is down, they still raise money, right? It's not like,
Exactly.
you can only raise money when you're making money. No. So I think getting the fund out there, getting attention uh, from family offices and other firms that are interested in diversifying their portfolios into funds. That's what I think that I need to really work on and somehow, nail down.
What do you think that would actually bring you? Would that actually bring you more capital, or what do you think that will actually bring you exactly?
I don't think that would bring capital. I think that would bring. Uh, no, I think it'll bring. You'll get noticed, but I think ultimately to bring capital, I need to be in front of someone with the capital.
So you need
But
to be noticed from them.
yeah, yeah,
And how you will
someone
be
that's
noticed from them?
willing to invest.
Exactly, exactly. So in order to get over from them, you need to be noticed from them. And that's why you think that building a brand, it will help you to be noticed, because if you will be noticed from the right ones, you can get capital. Correct?
Yeah, well, that's my thinking. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. That's why
I
we're
mean,
having this call, right?
I mean, that's absolutely correct. I mean, today, if you would be the best trader in the world, but no one know about you, you will stay no one. Correct?
Exactly. You know how true that is. Actually, when I know someone who was a friend, he was a significantly better trader than me, significantly better. But one thing he struggled with was raising capital, and he eventually just gave up. He left the industry.
Yeah, I have seen that all the time. I mean, I have seen veterans in their end of 50s, and they actually giving up, and they're telling me like, all right, I have already tried it, I couldn't, I have the best performance, the lowest drawdown reports that I had for the last 10 years, but no one actually gave me any attention, because they don't understand that, all right, if you want to build a business model, then you can't be a trader and build a business model. I mean, this trader mindsets, like to be behind the screen and being unknown, you understand, to being
Yeah,
like no one know about you, that will never be scalable. I mean, correct? Because building a
yeah,
business, it's more about, all right, become more visible, more exposure, not less like an introvert. You understand?
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
you
And
need to
I think
become
that's also one thing I've realized is trading is trading. A fund is now bridging the gap between business and trading. And you've got to be able to do both. You can't just sit at a desk, like you mentioned, and just churn through trades and build a track record. You've got to get out there. You've got to make the noise behind your name. It's like with any business, right? If I'm selling, for example, jam, you know, there's so many jam products out there. I've got to get out there and somehow make mine different, right?
exactly.
No one can.
Exactly. So you need actually to figure it out on why are you different, why you they will actually pay you any attention, why you make sense. I mean, if you understand how you can build your own edge, positioning, message side, then everything else will become easier for you. But if you don't figure out this side, then you will only become like a trader, or you will only stay a trader behind the screens, trading and just doing like 6 7 figures sometimes, and that's it. I mean, that's fine. I mean, are you willing to settle for that, or you that's not your own vision?
No, I'm not selling for that. I know what I want. I know what I want, and I've worked towards this level, not to just sit behind a desk. If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't go through this stress of setting a fund up. Um, I want to grow this fund. I want to build a fund into multi-figure millions, um, and then who knows from there. But for now, I know what I want. I know what I know what I have to work towards. Yeah.
Why do you want that? Is it like your own vision, or is it like something
Yeah,
just with?
I think when I was in prop trading, I know you learn about the industry and hedge funds, and I've always thought, look, I want to do that. I want to give that a go. And then it just became this thing that festered in my mind. That set up a hedge fund, set up a hedge fund, read more. I started reading so much about these funds that are setting up on the terminal where you get the the news feeds coming up for the hedge funds and these people moving from one hedge fund to another. And then this thing that came up with all the pod shops that started emerging um, out of the bigger funds. And then I thought, look, I feel if it doesn't work, fair enough. At least, but I want to give it a try. I have no reason why I can't give it a try. And if it works, great. I've tried and it worked. That's a success story, right?
Are
If
you
it,
are you working out?
what do you mean?
I mean, are you working out? You're going to the gym. You're working out
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah. I'll go to the gym like 6 days a week.
Yeah, are you doing that constantly?
Yeah, I've done that for the last 18 months.
Have you achieved a good physique from working out?
Um, I've achieved, well, I'm into calisthenics now, so I've
But
achieved.
isn't better than what you have already
Oh,
been
yeah,
doing?
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
the same thing in the hedge fund industry. So even if you will start with it, and if you will be committed as much as you have already been committed for your own training session and for your
yeah,
own health, so you will absolutely succeed. I mean, no one actually going to the gym, working out for 6 days per week, doing that for 3 4 years, and they will never get nowhere. They will absolutely be in better place than what they have already been. But
yeah,
those who actually getting nowhere, those who are not committed, I mean, those who haven't actually succeed with anything with their own self before. I mean, they have already promised their own self they will do X and Y. They haven't succeeded with that. Then with the time they will start to lose their own self beliefs. Correct? They will start to lose this conviction in their own self, in their own abilities, and that's what actually making those who trying getting nowhere, and those who actually achieving things getting far in the life, because they have already stacked these wins, small wins, for the long term constantly, and they understood that, all right, if I want to succeed, I want to go all in, be committed, I will do it daily, every day. I will do the effort, I will do what it requires from me to get done, and then I understand for the long term I will win. Do you have the same morals, the same values as I have already mentioned right here?
yeah, yeah,
Would you agree on that?
yeah. Totally, I would agree. I'm committed with this. This is all I pretty much have worked towards. I'm not wasting my time with this. I've put in the work, I've put in the effort. With the trading, I've turned up. You know, on days you don't want to trade, I've traded, or you don't feel like you want to be at the desk. I've stuck at the desk. Um, you know, especially with the investment I've made. Throwing 250 doesn't sound like a lot of money in the hedge fund industry, but putting your own skin behind you shows your commitment, right? If I wasn't committed, I probably wouldn't have put my own money on the line.
Understood. So before the end of the year, you are looking to raise 5 million, correct?
Yeah. This is a target. If it goes beyond, great. But I think that's a nice round figure that I want to work towards.
Are you committed to get there?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Okay, understood. Okay, today you don't have any team members, correct?
No, just me.
It's
I'm
so
the sole risk taker.
let's take her out.
I took that term. There's a guy called Asfan Dia Nadeem or something, and I was reading an article on him on Bloomberg the other day. He raised like 1 billion, and they mentioned that he's the sole risk taker. And I thought I'll steal that terminology. I'm the sole risk taker as well.
So you will call your own self right now, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, let's go, man. I like it. I like your own passion. Okay, man. Do you have an intro deck today of what you are doing, of how you already built an intro deck, these are document, or any like documents that shows your own trading history, or what you're currently doing exactly?
I don't have a full like deck made, but And I don't know how to present one properly. So I can get one made, but I would need like some tips on best way to make it look.
Yes. All right, mate. As I can see right here, you have the passion and you are committed actually to do a change right here, and you are looking to scale up, and you are impatient as a young guy, as I can see right here. You have already received an intro deck and the programs that we are offering currently. Have you been able to take a look on them?
I saw them. I've downloaded them. I've not fully read them yet.
Okay. So I can give you a quick brief about what we can deliver right here or what we can help you with if you would like to.
Yeah, sure.
So firstly, you are in early stage, you're at 2 million. And who we are working with, mainly we are working with hedge funds that are managing over 10 million and those who are looking to scale up to over 1 billion. But sometimes I'm making actually like, all right, I taking a call and I see like who is the operator and if they have the vision. And as I can see here, you have the vision, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you will be committed, correct? I mean, I will not put my time and effort into a partnership with someone who will go like 50-50.
No, no, no. I'm not here for 50-50. I mean, yeah, like I said, if I was doing 50-50, I wouldn't even do trading because that's just a waste of time, right? Why go through that time and effort to do 50-50? No
Okay.
way.
Okay. And okay, if you will have 5 million in the asset management before the end of the year, how much you would make on it?
Uh, well, it's tough to say. And it depends from what perspective. A yearly period or what?
I mean, on the yearly period.
Uh, Looking at it, 20 to 25%. It's tough to say though because of the way the markets are. But my target would be my mid yearly target is 10 to 15%, and then 20-25.
So 2025. And for revenue, you would do 220,
Yeah.
220. So you would do more than what you are doing by 4x or by 3x.
But what do you mean?
I mean, today you are measuring 2 million, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, if you will have 5 million, how much you would make in revenue?
Oh, in revenue,
Yeah, net,
in
net.
P&L.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, doesn't change. It'd be. I got a message. I don't know if that's.
It was from my own AI. I have an AI right here recording the call. I mean,
Okay.
if you are making today like 1.5, 20% from the 2 million or from the performance that you are generating, correct?
Yeah. Oh, so returns are risk adjusted. So the
I mean,
numbers I'm giving you in terms of 25%, they're risk adjusted return
okay, okay, yeah. I mean, for the revenue, man. I mean, for the revenue, how much you would make? You know what the revenue mean, correct?
in dollar terms.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. In so that would be on 5 million, um, two and a half. No, no, not 2.5 million. What we're looking at?
Do you have a calculator?
No, I can just do it in my head. I don't know. Yeah, 1.1 and a quarter to 1.75 mil.
Per year.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's more than what you're doing today.
yeah,
Okay, got it. Or performance, it would start from 15% to 25. That's what you would target.
yeah.
Okay,
And they would adjust. So they're not static targets. So if
okay.
the year is going great, that target will get pushed higher and higher.
Have you already received this type of years before?
Yeah, yeah. Last year. So I started with this because the last 3 years were around 20%. And so I set the initial target to 20%. Midway, May, I was already at 15%. So I moved the target up.
Okay.
And then in the second half of last year, I did another 15%, so I ended up 30. So yeah. So I'm not static like that. If I say a target at the start of the year, you know, I think staying static is a bit useless, because if the market, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, never mind in the next 12 months. So if the market goes completely ballistic, and that's, you might have an options trade or something, and you may have, assumed or betted on the fact that it's going to go ballistic. You could have made your whole yearly's gain in a couple of months. Then what do you target? You've got to have another target, right?